We hear it a lot about this region.
The Apalachicola Bluffs and Ravines, very unique system, one of the 5 biological hotspots in North America.
It's one of only 5 places in all of North America that have the highest biodiversity that we see in the continent.
That means this is a wild place, untouched by human hands, right?
You know, I thought growing up that it's a wild space, you leave it alone, don't interfere, and it does its thing, but just by secluding fire, we have greatly interfered.
Driven by regular fire, longleaf pine was the dominant habitat of the American Southeast. But only 5% of this iconic landscape remains. The Nature Conservancy and Torreya State Park are restoring thousands of acres of longleaf in this region, which is helping to preserve its famed biodiversity.
So this was all completely, moonscaped, all the pine plantation trees. Sand pine was the specific tree that was out here. The site was cleared.
They restore wiregrass first. This is the foundation of the understory.
A big emphasis on wiregrass, so of course that's what we have a lot of. But come back in 50 years, and the idea is this place, we will have created sort of the bones, the structure, and then Mother Nature will add all those details over time, and our list will get bigger and bigger.
Some of the plants that have started showing up here are rare, but whether they're rare and local or widespread and common, they all have their value.
This is the Apalachicola Rosemary, Conradina glabra. And then right next to it, it's a great example, is Pinopodium dentatum, Florida calumet. They're both mint family relatives, and they're both very rare. This one is endemic, this one is almost endemic, but it occurs in Georgia as well. Yeah, aren't they cool? So the common name for these is sand squares. Lots of little bees and other insects appreciate them. Dalea pinnata, the common name is summer farewell. And I always love to see it blooming because it is a signifier of cooler weather to come.
Where the uplands start to dip into the ravine, Lilly finds another rare wildflower.
Yeah, this is Liatris gulsonii. The Gulson's blazing star, a very rare, endangered, endemic plant species that pretty much only occurs on these slopes.
It's an adventuresome life. I don't really know where to start.
In the ravine, we find that Hurricane Michael has altered the plant community.
A lot of what's down and all over the ground is because of the hurricane, and that isn't the normal condition of these ravines, but it is, sort of an act of nature, and, we're going to witness how this ravine recovers itself. We're not going to actively try and, recreate what it was, but there certainly will be some shifts, some winners and some losers as the sky opened up. There's much more sunlight coming into this ravine than was this case 2.5 years ago. What we would have experienced 2.5 years ago is nearly closed canopy, combination of hardwood species like magnolia, hickory, beech, lots of understory, flowering shrubs.
Whole lot of grapevines coming up after Hurricane Michael, taking advantage of the newly opened canopy. The grapevines, as soon as the canopy opens up, they form dense thickets covering all of these already down trees. The magnitude of hurricanes that we are seeing now is not historically normal.
Hurricane Michael, the storm impacted the entire Apalachicola River system. It tore right up the river corridor, and we saw impacts to the entire basin that are still being assessed and measured, quite frankly.
The hurricanes, they're natural. They've been occurring for millions of years. But because of climate change, the hurricanes are increasing in intensity. They're increasing in the number of hurricanes. They increase in magnitude at the last couple days a lot of times, from a Category 1 to a Category 5.
Climate change is causing stronger storms, harsher droughts, and sea level rise. With that in mind, how do you restore ecosystems when change is inevitable?
One of the questions that we get a lot of times in the context of climate change is, how do we know what we're aiming for? How do we keep up with the changes that are happening in the plant community as the climate changes? And one thing that the Nature Conservancy believes, and I think there's a lot of good sort of thought that's gone into this, is that if we think about places like this sandhill, we're not necessarily aiming to conserve all of the individual plants, but we're thinking of it like actors on a stage. And what our goal is to conserve the stage so that whatever movement of actors across the stage happens because of climate change, it will still be here to function that way. And we will do what we can to preserve the space, the stage for them to be, but we've learned to let go of who the specific actors are and what the specific play is going to look like.
For WFSU, I'm Rob Diaz de Villegas. This video is funded by a grant from PBS. You can learn more about the PBS special series, Age of Nature, on the WFSU Ecology blog.